So actually today I wanted to upload my Monster Calls review, but I forgot the flash drive, so we're going to talk about Stormwitch instead. Stormwitch was written by Susan Vaught. In this book, so this book is about Ruba. She's 16 years old. It's 1969 in Mississippi, past Christian Mississippi. I don't know if that's a real town or if it's fictional. I didn't look it up. But Ruba grew up on Haiti with her grandmother, who was this very important person in her life. After the death of this grandmother, her other grandmother from the US, from Mississippi, comes and fetches her, and Ruba from then on has to live with her. And this book is about her dealing with that change, dealing with the loss of her grandmother, with the most important person in her life, and with her being confronted with racism and her Amazon heritage. If you're thinking, wait a second, she's from Haiti, what have the Amazons about to do with that? That's Grecian mythology. I was a little bit confused about that as well, especially so close, reading this so close after watching Wonder Woman, and that, you know, didn't really jive with me. The picture of, Amazons that was painted in this book and the picture that I had in my mind, but it is all explained in the book. I won't explain it for you because it's a little bit of a spoiler, and I found it kind of gratifying when Ruba tells the story herself, so I won't spoil it for you. You might want to discover it yourself. What I thought about this book, I liked the plot quite a bit. It has several plot lines, which I found surprising because it's such a small book. It has a little bit more than 200 pages, but these storylines show different aspects of Ruba's struggle, and they are coming together pretty nicely. It got a little bit predictable now and then, but you know, that's okay. I don't mind too much. Also, the characters I found were pretty solid. They all acted according to their description in the book, and you know, the character relationships were surprisingly complex. Not that I thought it would be a shallow book, knowing that it would deal with racism, which is, you know, a pretty complex topic in itself. But it's a pretty short book. It's young adult fiction, so I was prepared that it was a little bit, you know, shallow. The characters, the different struggles that the characters have are explained pretty well. You could really see and understand their struggle and why they struggle and what they had to deal with in their life, during their life, and why they ended up where they are in the book. Man, it seems like I can't talk today. So my only complaint really is with the writing, because that felt at times it felt a little bit clunky and disjointed, which, you know, there were parts that were beautiful and there were parts where it was just, wait, I have to read this again, this didn't make much sense, but it didn't bother me too much. Like, strangely enough, it fitted with the story, so it's okay. A little bit of a drawback, but it wasn't, you know, too much bothering me. What I didn't expect, which was pretty surprising, was that, you know, they go full on magic in this book. I thought the magic in this book was a little bit more of an allegory, or what do you say, allegory, yeah, for Ruba, you know, dealing with her heritage and dealing with this change from Haiti going to Mississippi, the US, which, you know, are a little bit, you know, different. There's a little bit of different surrounding. I thought it was meant more to show that struggle, that the people in Mississippi did not believe in magic, but you know, when they're talking about magic in this book, they go full on magic in this book. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Also, I should say, probably, I don't know, I think, you know, I don't know, should I? Yeah, I mean, I think I should say it, but it's kind of, I think it's, in the end, it's kind of unnecessary because, you know, for me personally, it doesn't really matter what skin color the protagonist of the book has, but I know it matters for some people. So the protagonist in this book is black, so are a lot of the other characters, because as I said, it deals with racism in the US in 1969, which we probably all know was kind of a difficult time. I mean, it's still apparent that there is a lot of racism in the US. There's a lot of racism here in Germany, not in the same way as it is in the US, with, you know, the focus being on black and white. It's more of, you know, people with different cultural heritages, such as Turkish or Russian, or, you know, that is kind of the thing we're dealing with in Germany. Although this book has a although this book has a black protagonist, this book was written by a white woman. Susan Vaught is, I think she's a scholar or a professor at a university. I looked it up, but I forgot to write it down. But the book was very well researched. There is a lot of, you know, references to her sources in the back of the book. And, you know, the culture and the heritage, the African heritage, is treated with a lot of respect in this book, as I said. So this is not an Own Voices story, but, you know, there's a lot of discussion here in BookTube about Own Voices, and for me personally, I made the decision for myself that as long as the culture that the person writes about is treated with respect, and the person does a lot of research and knows her stuff, I don't have a problem with people writing about a different culture. You know, and if you think, oh, you can't relate to that because you're a white chick. Yeah, I kind of do, because a lot of people have written about the Second World War without being German or even knowing the German language and fundamentally getting things wrong. It's outrageous and maddening and frustrating, and sometimes when I read this stuff I want to scream and rip the book apart. Because I just think, if you don't do research, just fucking not write about that. Just fucking don't do it. But that wasn't the case in this book. I mean, yeah, I'm not black. I don't live in the US, so that's my opinion. If you've read this book, or if you think this is in some way harmful or hurtful to you, of course I'm not taking that away from you. That is still your valid opinion, and I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong or anything like that. It's just, I made that decision for myself. So I gave the book 4 stars. I really liked it. I would definitely say give it a chance, you know. So that was it for today. I hope you have an awesome magical day. It's really warm. All of a sudden it was a very rainy day yesterday, but now it's really warm. Anyways, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you're reading something magical, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh, and tell me, what do you think about Own Voices, and if it's, you know, what do you think about authors writing a different culture than they are actually living in, or that they are born into? Because I would love to hear your thoughts about that. I think it's a very complex topic, and I still haven't, you know, wrapped my mind around all of that, or made up my mind about all of that. I do, however, think that since I'm an aspiring writer, I don't want to limit myself to, you know, just one skin color, so, because that's not what the world is. You know, the world is not just white, so why should I just write white characters? And I think as long as I respect all of the other cultures, I think that's okay. But what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below, please, and bye!